Happy Saturday, folks. What's up, everyone? Satara J here, your host of your favorite sports show, Get in the Game. And thank you for joining me on a Saturday special edition of Get in the Game. I am more than excited. I'm sure you can tell I'm literally sitting up in my seat right now. And happy to welcome to the Get in the Game set. Our pre-draft roundup begins today with special host DeAndre Johnson. And you guys here in Jacksonville, well, they know you all over. I mean, because you've been in Texas, you've been in Mississippi, but they know you. The people who know First Coast Bucks know him from slinging those far from down the street. You want to run over there real quick and get some passes?
See the crew.
We're going to pull out all the cameras from here in this set and go head over to the field. Maybe get your arm warmed up for what's coming next in your career, yes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. How excited are you about this next phase of your life?
I mean, I'm excited. You know, first I just want to say, you know, all glory to God.
Yeah.
You know, I would not be here today if it had not been, you know, just believing in Him and putting all my faith into Him.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
You know, for what's about to happen in the next week.
Yeah.
You know, and so you know, I prepared my whole life for this.
Yeah.
It's always been a dream of mine.
Yeah.
You know, right now it feels so real.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
haven't really sunk in yet.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure, you know, as the draft, you know, start to approach and stuff like that, you know, it's definitely gonna sink in. And right now, I'm just excited, you know, just to be in this position.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, it's just like a feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
You know, of not throwing in the towel, just, you know, to keep on persevering. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can tell, but we've been talking off camera. If you can sense through the camera, through TV land, just the amount of poise this young man has. So I give my hats off to your parents. They obviously raised a well-groomed young man, and I'm sure football had its hands in that as well. So let's start from the beginning. So one thing you said was this is something you dreamed about, and we hear that a lot. I mean, obviously, if you don't have a dream to do something, the possibility of achieving that kind of diminishes. So when you say you've had a dream of doing it, when in your mind did you feel like, I'm going to dream of playing in the NFL? Was it a specific player you saw on the field, or did you just kind of always feel like this is the path that I want to take?
I'll probably say about the time when I was 7 years old. That's when I first started to pick up the game of football. I've always been a natural at it. You know, I've always felt like I had, you know, the skill set of any kid my age. You know, I was exceeding them. And I don't know, it's just like, it never really sunk into me that I wanted to take this serious until about, I would say, my 8th grade year.
Okay.
And that's when I knew that I was going through some adversity at the time as well. And, you know, but right a year before that, that's when I really started to understand the definition of work ethic. You know, I was going to school, Landmark Middle School.
Okay. Shout out to Landmark.
Shout out to Landmark. It was ran by Coach Foy.
Okay.
Coach Foy was a guy who, you know, really installed work ethic into me. You know, and, you know, just going off natural talent and being able to put the work in, and I started to see my game start to evolve a little bit, you know, just based off what it was that I was putting in, and I knew, you know, that I had what it took. Yeah.
Now, one thing you said, we hear it a lot, adversity. I think that's one word that we hear a lot of professional athletes use.
Right.
Looking at your life personally, what was it about that specific point in your life, that adversity you were going through, what you were up against, that you think kind of flipped a switch in your mind to say, I'm going to use this to make me grow more disciplined, be more passionate in my sport, and use this to kind of propel me in a path of football?
I'll probably say, you know, at the time, you know, I came from a family, you know, hardworking family. You know, and in my family, you know, we never really had anyone play professionally. And it was always a goal of mine and my younger brother, Tyreek, that we wanted to be the first in our family to accomplish that. So growing up, I knew I was going through a time where I was on the basketball team, on the track team.
Okay.
And, you know, and we decided to go our separate ways from there. And because I really wanted to focus on playing football and playing quarterback. You know, because all my life I wanted to be a quarterback.
Okay.
But I was on the teams where coach was like, you know, you just too fast, or they sons was playing the quarterback.
Wow, too fast to be a quarterback. You don't
Right.
hear that often. You won't have to worry about that at the next level. That's a good thing to have. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
but either that or their sons were playing that position.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and I've always knew I had the arm talent, you know, to play the position, and I've always knew that I was born to be a leader, no matter what it was. You know, and quarterback was one of the roles where you had to be a leader.
Right.
And I knew I was a leader of men at a young age.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been a guy where I've always walked at the beat of my own drum, no matter what it was. You know, and I wanted to give it a shot. I knew that I had to take it serious because I knew I wasn't gonna be 6'5".
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna be the
How
biggest.
do you know you're not going to be 6'5"?
I don't know. It's just something that I always just just thought about. And
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I've been about the same height for about 3 years now. I don't think I'm gonna go.
That must be crushing, right? You never know. Listen, God has a way of doing
Absolutely.
things, miracles. I mean, you're 24 now, but who knows? You might wake up tomorrow and be half an inch taller.
But I say that to say this. I said that to say this is that, even at a young age that I knew what I wanted to do. I knew everything and every day that I had to live with a purpose and do everything with a purpose. So I've always prepared for the worst of all situations since a young age. And so I was like, to be a quarterback, I got to take this serious. I need to just go all in. And so I decided to do that. I was working every day, 6 days out the week, probably rest on Sundays.
Yeah.
For a few hours.
Yeah. But your mind wasn't resting, I'm
No,
sure.
my
You're
mind,
always
yeah, my
thinking
mind is
about the
always
game.
going.
So
Yeah.
let's talk about the pressure, because one thing you said, so our sponsor, Alvin Brooks of My Season Chicken and Ribs,
Oh, yeah.
him and I were having a conversation about last week when I told him you were going to be on the show. And the first thing he said was, man, that kid was a beast at First Coast. But he did say that your 8th grade year, the coach was talking you up and telling everybody at First Coast how phenomenal you were going to be. And all the wide receiver parents kept asking was, can he get the ball to my boy?
Oh, yeah.
So in 8th grade, you're what, 14 years old?
Around
Right.
there.
So talk about the pressure. You're playing football in Jacksonville, in the state of Florida. I mean, football here is, people go crazy over the football here in the South. Did you feel any kind of pressure going into First Coast, feeling like you had to make a name for yourself and then to carry the team as a freshman?
Right. I mean, I've always knew that, my dreams, and my aspirations was so much bigger than anybody can wrap
For you.
can wrap their head around. So I've always had big expectations for myself. So that's when I said, like, my 8th grade year, I knew I had to go all in. So when it came, it was about just learning the game, film study, understanding defenses, understanding how to read coverages, and just work on myself day in and day out on becoming a leader.
Yeah.
I had a great support system around me, from my father to my mother to my trainer, Cecil Relford. Everybody just poured so much into me that every day we were working on something, just preparing for that moment.
Yeah.
So by the time, when I first walked into First Coast, it was a group. They used to huddle around a tree.
Okay.
And it was the wide receivers' parents, because the wide receivers was working out right in front of it.
Okay.
That was their station of the field. So it was one of them it was a real hostile environment, I'm telling you. Like I said, we just prepared every day, so going out there playing football was second nature to me. I knew I was a good football player, and I just needed a place to showcase that.
Yeah.
And, I came to them. First Coast had a great group of receivers. My freshman year, I was fortunate to have Chris Black, Brandon Brooks, Justin Osborne, and a few other receivers, that welcomed me with open arms. So it made that transition very easy for me.
Yeah.
All I had to go out there is just throw the football and show the guys I can get it to them. And it was all she wrote from there.
Yeah, and as Alvin Brooks said, he's open, my son's open.
He's open now.
We had that conversation.
Oh,
You said,
man.
that's the guy who kept saying, regardless of what type of coverage it was, his son was always open.
Oh, yeah.
So your 4 years at First Coast, was there a year in there that was particularly harder than any of the others?
Yeah, I would probably say my sophomore year. We had just came off an undefeated season, going to the state championship, lost in the state game. All my receivers were seniors.
Yeah.
So it was a whole new receiving core.
Yeah.
And me as a freshman, I was just coming into myself, just coming to a sophomore. Now it was my team, so to say. And just taking on that leadership role of getting guys up there on Saturday mornings to work out, working out after practice, you know, getting routes in before practice. You know, I really just had to own it.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's no secret, we didn't have the nationally talented receivers that we had the year before.
Gotcha.
So it was just guys, you know, we all were trying to prove ourselves. You know, and so that was probably the toughest year, but we still finished an undefeated regular season. Yeah,
and you got through. I mean, when we're looking at your numbers after First Coast, over 12,000 yards, 131 touchdowns, and you ran for 23 of those. So your senior year, do you remember what your numbers were your senior year when you broke the state record?
With like what, 3,000 passing, 4,000?
Yeah, almost 4,000 passing
4,
yards. You know how many touchdowns you threw for?
Was it 47?
Yep. Yeah, you got to remember that number. And then that led you share a stage of, I mean, some very successful names. Dante Culpepper, Anquan Bolden, Dalvin Cook, Tim Tebow, Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah, great company.
What is that you share with them?
Florida Mr. Football.
Yeah. What does that award mean to you? You started smiling. That means something special to you.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, for me, it was just a stamp for me that, you know, that I had a great high school career.
Yeah.
You know, and all the hard work that I put in up into that, you know, from my 8th grade season to my senior year in high school, that it was all worth it, you know? And because, you know, at the time, for me, it was, I had to become distant from everybody, you know, so I could really work on myself and work on, you know, to get to where I wanted to be. And so at the time, people thought that we had it wrong the whole time, you know, and so to get that validation, you know, of being in that category, you know, it was like, yeah, we had it right the whole time, man. So it was just a seal of approval for me.
Does that, you know, when you give a young kid an award like that, is there any fear of arrogance developing? I mean, because you're already a quarterback, you know, you've thrown for almost 4,000 yards. How do you stay humble when something like that is presented to you?
Well, you know, one thing about me is that I've always been level-headed. You know, I never saw too far. I never saw behind me.
Yeah.
You know, I've always kept it one day at a time. Always kept this. The main thing was always the main thing for me.
Got you.
You know, and at the time, you know, it was, for me, it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted, at the time, I was so energized, so energetic that I thought, you know, I can accomplish anything in the world I put my mind to. You know, and I'm still like that. You know, for me, it was just like, okay, cool, that's a great war, that's a great honor. You know, now it's time to make new goals and achieve them.
Yeah.
So
you ended up choosing Florida State, right? You were early commit. How do you had every school, I mean, all over the country touting you. What visits did you go on? Do you remember?
For me, it was kind of different, you know, because I committed as a freshman.
Yeah. My
freshman year. So I probably visited like Clemson was in my top. My top 3 was Clemson, Florida State, and yeah, that's it.
Clemson and Florida State.
It wasn't on 3.
2 totally different programs right now, so it's interesting you say that. So you early commit to Florida State, right? You're going Dabo Swinney. You become the haven to save the program because Jameis Winston, you know, as we know, is now going on. And it didn't turn out the way that you thought and probably the city of Jacksonville thought. What did you learn from the situation that happened at Florida State?
Well, for me, it's a blessing in disguise for me. You know, I say that because, you know, it taught me so much, you know, just apart from playing football and being a football player. You know, going through the situation that I went through in Tallahassee, it caused me to really become a man, you know, and understand, you know, that, you know, a person is not defined by one action, you know, and you're defined on how you bounce back, how you recover, you know, what do you really stand for, you know, and for me, it was easy because I just, you know, relied on what it was, my principle was, and what I did every day, you know, the person who I was day in and day out, you know, other than one situation. And, you know, and it just taught me a lot about people, taught me a lot about myself, you know, helped me realize that I had to understand who I was at all times, understand that, you know, that I represent the last name on my back, you know, and just, you know, just always, you know, just be accountable no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know, so, yeah.
Let's do a short little interview in an interview real quick, because as you know, and I'm sure you've been told, scouts, player personnel, everyone they got a board right now, and they got a board at home because the way the draft is going, starting next Thursday is completely different than any of us thought it would be. So these GMs, okay, they have a board at home, and let's say you might be on their board, right? What do you say to that GM who in his mind he keeps referring back to the incident? What do you want to say to him?
Well, I would say this, that the incident that happened to me when I was a freshman is that I was a young boy, going into a situation now, I'm a man, and I understood, everything that came along with it. Now it just made me, understand adverse situations, no matter if it's on the field or off the field. I feel well equipped that I can handle anything that comes my way, and just going through that situation, it just gave me a platform, so now it's not just for myself, but for the next generations upcoming, that it's a story and it's a blueprint. No matter what it is, it's always a blueprint, and you can't bypass the system.
Yeah.
If you keep your head down, man, and just understanding who you are at all times.
Yeah. That
the sky's the limit, and you can do anything you put your mind to, because the mind is a powerful thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That was great. I think you just got. Somebody just said, let's move him over to our live draft board. Good for you. Okay, so at that point, you have to make a decision.
Right.
You have to decide to depart from Florida State. Why Mississippi, of all places? I mean, who picks, I'm going to go to a JUCO in Mississippi. How did that happen?
Woo, it was a difficult situation.
Yeah.
I know at the time, that I did not want to sit out from playing football. I wanted to transition right into it, keep myself busy, keep my mind off a lot of things, and really just work on myself. I could have went to different schools, stuff like that. But at the time, I was considering, I wanted to redshirt, so I wanted to have, still 4 years of eligibility on Division I scale. At the time, East Mississippi was a great choice.
Yeah.
They had 3 Florida State Seminoles was on the team that I knew. It had a coach, Coach Trickett, was quaterback at Florida State, who was a coach there. I had my friend John Franklin, and it was just a situation that, I know I can go there, I can redshirt, I can sit out that year, I can just work on myself, reflect on a lot of things, man, and just really just become my own person.
Yeah.
And, and at the time it was, even sick, man, it's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
It's a great program.
Yeah.
Blessed, fortunate to have given that opportunity. Thanks to Coach Stevens, Coach Wood, Coach Salas. It was a great group of guys there. Fortunate to go there. And I just knew that it was going to be a good situation for me. I got a chance to be out the way.
Yeah.
Wasn't really no media. Wasn't no.
Until.
It wasn't really nothing around, so I knew I could really, work on myself.
Yeah. Until Netflix decides to do Last Chance U at your school, 2 seasons running there.
Right.
And for a lot of people, that's how they came to know DeAndre Johnson. What about that do you think was helped to put a spotlight on who you were and where you had come from, and potentially cutting off that cord of, I am not the same kid that had this incident at FSU. I am different. So recognize me to be DeAndre Johnson, the quarterback for this particular school in Mississippi.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a good situation. I was fortunate to have Netflix come there and want to do a documentary and be a part of that. And one thing that I learned from that series is that people got a chance to see who I really was as a person, and because everything you saw there was actually reality. It wasn't nothing that was putting on for the camera and stuff like that. So I was blessed that it was that type of format. And I didn't have to fake anything. And for me it was just, I just wanted people to see who I was. And what it was that went into playing football, and understand that, it's people come from different walks of life. And you see us all there, we all have different stories. But it's all about what we do, how we bounce back from it, how we recover, and to have that captured on video, especially on a network like Netflix, was huge.
Yeah.
You know, and
that can be replayed over and over. And so one thing you said in a media clip that I just thought was classic was you said the only thing that's changed is the amount of followers I have on Instagram.
Yeah.
So that doesn't add pressure to who you are and what you're doing, because now it's not the couple thousand people that knew you in Jacksonville and maybe attached themselves to you to Florida State. Now it's 30,000 people, or I mean, I'm sure you have more followers than that. But now it's thousands of people who are now following you. Is there any pressure with that?
Nah, it's a blessing. You know, like I stated previous, that, you know, it created me a bigger platform. You know, I get a lot of messages from like people from Brazil, Australia, you know, just all over the world. You know, and be able to connect with them and share little tidbits or whatever is going on, and just to be a person of influence, you know, of just help, you know, whenever someone needs it, you know, or any advice, you know, and just communicate with people, you know. So it's definitely was a good feeling to be able to be a part of that. Yeah.
So talking about putting another stamp on your legacy of football, East Mississippi Community College went on to win a state championship in 2016, which you happen to be a part of. How amazing was that?
I mean, it was great. You know, we would have been back to back national champions. You know, if something, you know. So, but it was great, man. It was a great program, great atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, it was a great situation. You know, I still talk to a lot of my guys from that team. You know, till this day.
Yeah.
You know, and but it was great, man. I got a chance to do what I love, have it, you know, showcased on a national scale like Netflix.
Yeah.
And it was exciting, man. I just love to play the game.
Yeah. Talk about when you, because then you transition on to FAU.
Right.
But a lot of people don't understand junior college. They don't know. It's a lot different than being somewhere like a FSU, a Clemson, even an FAU. Just talk about, maybe highlight one thing that you would say at a JUCO, you definitely get this or experience this that you're not going to get at a top FCS school.
Whew. I would probably say, coming from junior college, the biggest difference was the camaraderie. When it comes to that, from a JUCO to a FCS, FBS school. And you know, because in JUCO, you know, you all dependent on each other.
Yeah.
You know, you there 24/7. It's not as many amenities, not so many resources.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that much money that's built into the program as in the top Division I level. And you know, and just going to FAU, you know, I just transferred over what I learned in junior college and brought it, applied it to FAU, and that was that on that.
Yeah. How big of a factor was Lane Kiffin in your decision to go to FAU over any other school? Because at that point, you're kind of proving yourself. There's a lot of Division I schools that would have loved to add you to their program, but you decided FAU, the Owls, and to kind of start with Lane Kiffin because he was just coming in as you were as well.
Right. Well, you know, I was fortunate to have Coach Kiffin to come into FAU and to honor my scholarship, and I was just signed me as his first recruit. You know, and you know, Coach Kiffin was a good guy, but also, you know, throughout that situation, I was blessed to have met the president of FAU, Dr. Kelly. You know, and you know, and just building a relationship with him, and it's one that I think is going to be everlasting.
Awesome. So you guys, 11-3 season.
Oh, yeah.
You had a couple setbacks there. We were talking about it off camera before we started the show. When you had that undisclosed but had been disclosed injury, the blood clots in your arm. Having adversity throughout your career is one thing, but for it to seem like it's continuous, what goes through your mind when you're told, hey, you're going to need to sit out a year because of these blood clots in your arm? How difficult was that for you?
It honestly, it wasn't. You know, it was something that, it was difficult at the time, you know, because it came at a time where it was a hurricane going on down there, and I was stuck in the hospital for about a week behind it. You know, and honestly, I'm going to share this with you. I was told by a doctor, you know, that I probably wasn't going to play football ever again.
Wow.
You know, I'm laying in the hospital bed. Doctor said, you probably not going to play again. So, and me, I'm like, man, that's a lie, because I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. You know, I know the Lord is gonna carry me through this like He always do. And you know, so just put all my faith into Him. You know, I had a good support system, my family, my brothers, everybody. You know, and I've always been mentally tough. That's something I always pride myself in. You know, one reason I wanted to play quarterback.
Yeah.
You know.
The guy with the bullseye literally on the front of his helmet.
Right.
Yeah. So do you feel like at that point it added more fuel to your fire to prove him wrong and anybody else who who doubted you?
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was definitely a tough situation going through that. You know, but for me it was just like, okay, cool. I'd have been through one adverse situation. Now here comes another one. I can get through this. I've been through worse.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot more people that go through worse in the world, and I'm saying here, you know, this is football. This is just a game for me.
Yeah.
So I'll get through it.
Got you. And get through it you did.
Oh,
you ended up leaving FSU, going to Texas Southern. What played a role in you making that decision?
Well, you know, it was ran by Coach McKinney. Okay. He came from some top programs like Texas A&M, Arizona. He came with a good track record. And the system that he was running was an ideal system. I had great talent all around me when it comes to like receivers, running backs, stuff like that. If you look on paper, it was a for sure championship season.
Yeah.
You know.
It didn't turn out that way though, right?
Nah.
You went from 11-3 to 0-11.
Oh my God, yeah. Tell me about it. So.
How was that? I mean, did that make you feel like, did I just make the wrong decision? I mean, did you have a moment where you felt like that? You
know, obviously, you know, it's gonna be times where you're gonna go through every emotion possible.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and you know, I went through different type of emotions. I went through every emotion possible, but I also knew that I was never gonna throw the towel or never quit. Yeah. You know, and you know, and here we go again. Yeah. Another adverse situation. Yeah. So it was a chance, you know, to take that. You know, to take the bull by his horns, you know, and to really attack it, you know, and face it every day, day in and day out. One thing I learned from that situation is, you know, because I've been a winner all my life. You know, I've never lost a game. You know, and to go into a situation where we didn't win not one game.
Not one. Not one, even half a game.
Not half a game.
Y'all might have won in practice, but you didn't win in the game.
Not half a game, you know, but it was a situation where it helped me, you know, expound on my leadership, you know, and just you know, just be a better player, a better person all around. You know, one thing I did say, we did not win a game, but what I can say is that, you know, everybody around me got better. You know, and by doing that, you know, it was a good year for me.
Yeah. Now, one thing you mentioned, as far as your choice to pick Texas Southern, you talked about the system. You felt like it was right for you. So let's do another interview within an interview. Okay. So if you had a choice, what kind of system do you feel like would best benefit and showcase your talents as a quarterback?
Ooh, you know,
that's a little.
It's crazy you said it because, you know, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
You know, going from Florida State all the way to Texas Southern, check this out. I've probably operated 4-5 different systems. Wow. When it comes to playing the game. You know, so every system that's being run in the NFL right now, I've ran it.
You got a lock on it.
Absolutely. You know, so I got a pretty good feel of it.
Yeah.
And you know, so I feel like, you know, I'm confident, you know, and what I can bring to anybody's program or anybody's team is that, you know, this guy that went through adverse situations, that's able to adapt, because playing a game is all about adapt. Yeah. You know, and so you know, whichever team gets me or whichever team takes a chance on me, man, is going to get all of me, and it's gonna be great. Yeah,
I was gonna save this question for later, but I feel like it kind of inserts well here. Who in the league now would you most compare your game to, and why? What quarterback?
Well, you know, we all gonna say is that, you know, we all is our own person. We play our own game, stuff like that. Well, a couple guys that I've always modeled my game after was Russell Wilson. Okay. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, one of my top. You know, and to see how the game is evolving every year, man, it's just wonderful. You got Lamar doing what Lamar does. Yeah. You got Patrick Mahomes doing what Pat Mahomes do. Yeah. And so I'll probably say it's more of a mixture of like Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and that's it.
Good. Those are some great quarterbacks. Now, what about the quarterback position fascinates you?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. You know, one thing I've always said is that, you know, quarterback was in my DNA.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the 17th letter and the second letter in the alphabet, you know, that's my DNA right there.
There you go.
You know, and, you know, just everything about, like, just being a natural leader. And, you know, and I just feel like I'm a magician with the ball in my hand. You know, and I've always...
A magician.
A magician.
Okay.
Like, I've always wanted the ball in my hand every play. I wanted to be the guy that controlled what was going on, you know, kind of like playing chess. You know, and, you know, just being a quarterback, it's a lot that comes with it. And it's, for me, it just became natural. You know, I've grown into it, you know, and, you know, it's a way of life for me.
Yeah.
So.
Now, being a student of the game, obviously you watch film, and more film. And I would assume that in your watching of game film, that includes watching NFL games.
Oh, yeah.
So you've seen how the game has evolved over the years, specifically for the quarterback position. When you look at the game today, in your opinion, what is the most difficult thing about playing the quarterback position right now?
Whew. Well, you know, the game is constantly evolving, and I'll probably say, you know, just studying. You just got to constantly study the game. You know, you got nowadays, you got some athletes coming.
Yeah.
You know, you got defensive ends running 4
like
threes.
Aaron Donald.
You know, like you got Aaron Donald. You know, it's just you know, you just have to constantly study, man. And you know, and when it comes, and I feel like if you confident in yourself and you know you put the work in, you're actually a student of the game, that it's not nothing you need to worry about. You know, because this is what you do.
Yeah.
You know, this is who you are, and you preparing the right way. You know, and like you say, you just keep the main thing, and just go out there and just play, have fun. You know, but operate within the system. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't feel no other way about it.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but I feel like I heard a quarterback once say, "You just let the game come to you."
Absolutely.
Yeah, you feel the same way.
Absolutely.
So what encouraged your decision to kind of declare for the draft back in December? Because you could have played, you had another year of eligibility. Yeah. So why come out now?
For me, you know, I feel like I'm ready.
Yeah.
You know, I've been through the toughest of the toughest times. You know, and now I feel like I want to get on a platform where I can showcase what I can do. Yeah. You know, and it's always been a dream of mine, you know, and I'm ready for it. You know, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to attack it. Yeah. You know, I'm going to be the hardest worker. You know, and you know, it's like I said, I feel like I'm ready, man. I can't, you know, I can't keep harping on that enough. Yeah. You know, I'm just ready to go out there and just play and have fun. Yeah,
I can tell, because I feel like if I called in 5 linemen right now to just line up right here, then you would be ready to go. I get that energy from you. Like, I just feel like you're hungry, like you're literally ready for someone to put the plate of the NFL in front of you.
That's what it is.
And your appetite seems endless.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, am I getting that right?
Starving.
Yes, he said he's starving.
Starving.
That's good. Now, let's talk about your preparation for the NFL, especially in a time and season like we're in now. You know, this virus hits, it kind of shuts down all that you probably know to be able to assist you in getting ready for the platform. What kind of tools have you been using? What have your coaches and those that are helping you prepare been using to kind of supersede what's going on in society right now?
Well, yeah, you know, the time right now has been, it's been a crazy time with COVID-19 going on, you know, so a lot of cancels of pro days and stuff like that. So especially for guys like myself that really needed the pro days to really come out and really stamp your name onto the scene. Yeah. It was difficult behind that. But, you know, it's another adversity. Yeah. You know?
Which you're used to.
Absolutely.
But you did get your pro day.
I did.
Right? And so let me see if I remember the numbers. So 40-yard dash, 4.46. Okay. Yeah? Am I right? Okay. Oh, yeah. Could you ever run faster?
I could have.
Do you think you play faster than that?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right. So 4.46, your broad jump, 10? 10 feet, am I right?
Okay, 10 feet.
Yeah, about right. Okay, in vertical, I gave him earlier, I gave him a 41 in the vertical, but it was more around 30 something. What was the most difficult thing? Because again, you've been thinking about this, dreaming about this since you're 7.
Right.
So you get to your what is going through your mind at the time that this is happening? Were you nervous?
No, I wasn't nervous.
No? Okay.
No.
He was. Of course he wasn't nervous.
Nah, I wasn't nervous. It was more just like, oh man, I hope I hit the numbers I'm supposed to hit.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, people could say, you know, as you constantly training and, you know, throughout pro day training, you know, some days you're going to hit your numbers, some days you're not.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, you know, you just want to peak at the right time.
Yeah.
So it was just make sure your mind was relaxed, everything. You know, one thing about me, I try to transfer over from the quarterback into everything that I do and everything when it comes to life. You know, and I call it having a sniper mentality. You know,
Say that again.
A sniper mentality.
Okay.
Never getting too high, never getting too low. Just staying even in the middle. You know, so you can, you know, adjust to anything.
Yeah.
You know?
So tell me something. Give us an example. Interview within an interview now. Give us an example of something that you've been able to adapt and translate into your everyday life that has come from playing football as a quarterback.
Yeah. Work ethic.
Okay.
You know, just being disciplined and perseverance.
Yeah.
You know, no matter if I'm playing. I got a new hobby I'm doing, right? It's pickleball.
Pickleball. I know a little bit about pickleball.
Oh,
now this is funny because don't get offended, viewers, but pickleball is typically a sport that you see older active adults playing.
Right.
How did you pick up pickleball?
You know, I was talking to my trainer, Cecil Relford, and we was talking about, you know, that I wanted to get some new hobbies, stuff like that, and he introduced me to golf. So
okay.
Start
How'd
playing.
that go?
It's working. It's work in progress.
I think the most interesting thing about golf, I love seeing football players play golf because y'all are used to hard-hitting, fast-paced, and golf is how do I translate all my power? And that's the thing about golf. Would you agree that you have to control your power?
Absolutely.
Because this little long stick of a club and this little ball, you have to pinpoint it, which as a quarterback, it's probably easier to play golf because you're used to being able to find your target even in schemes and coverages. So golf didn't go over as well with you.
Yeah, you know, I'm still working on my swing.
What's the hardest part about golf for you?
The swing. Oh my God. You know, it just keeping.
Wanting to pick your head up.
Exactly. You know, because a lot of times I would bend my elbow instead of keeping it straight. You know, just muscle memory, stuff like that. Yeah.
About 10 years from now, I'm sure we'll see you retired on a golf course somewhere or something like that. So I'm sure you that is like the one sport that a lot of NFL players play from what I've seen. But then how did you pick up pickleball?
You know, Cecil was playing pickleball. He's like, man, I got this new hobby, pickleball. It's good for your cardio too. It help you with your quickness. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, let's give it a try. So we went out there. I've only played it about twice, but picking it up pretty well, and it's fun. Yeah. You know, you play it, work on your quickness, work on lateral quickness, and I say that to say this, that I work on, you know, just adapting to any type of thing and transfer over playing quarterback to playing pickleball. Is that, you know, matter of fact, yesterday, I was out there playing. He's beating me. You know, I'm getting fatigued, getting tired. You know. And but you know what that I had to realize is that, you know, it's just like playing football. Each play, you know, a play can last typically 4 seconds. You know, but your body, you know, might seem like you putting so much out that you got to sometimes regroup. You know, and just focus on each play. And just pickleball is the same way. That, you know, I focus on, okay, cool. He just got a point. So now I have to hone in on what it is that my training is telling me. You know, and being disciplined, you know, and just following everything to a T. You know, and you know, even like when you fatigue or when you tired. You know, just being disciplined.
So you decided to. I think one of the most difficult things sometimes can be for an athlete in your position is choosing an agency to represent you, because you have to pick people that you feel like are going to go to bat for you, and they have to become like family. So you chose Rare Sports Agency, also known as Rare Sports Institute. How did you come across them?
It was a blessing. You know, it was the Lord. You know, the Lord connected us together. My agent, Sherman Ledette.
Hey, Sherman.
What's up, guys? Sherman, Frank, Greg, how you guys doing? But it was just that, you know, we had some type of chemistry from high school. He represented a few former First Coast guys that's in the area. And, you know, and just having that relationship with him and him believing in me, you know, was big.
Yeah, that's important.
So, and, you know, they're an agency where, you know, they pillars are, you know, just family, foundation, you know, and just faith.
Yeah.
You know, they're Christian orientated. And it was just like it was a good situation for me, man. It was, I call them the three wise men.
Yeah.
You know, it's 3 agents, Frank, Greg, and Sherman. And, you know, it was just a blessing, man, that they was able, you know, to help me throughout this process.
So you're excited, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So wrapping up your college career, almost 4,700 yards passing, 1,200 yards rushing, 41 passing touchdowns, and 11 rushing touchdowns. So when you look at your numbers and you see these other quarterbacks, and I know, no player is going to kind of compare themselves to, but that's the business you're going into, by the way, just in case you don't know. But when you look at, you know, the top quarterbacks in the draft, when you look at Jalen Hurts and you look at Tua and you look at Joe Burrow, what would you say to those organizations that are looking for a guy who, number one, has been through adversity, number two, has played in a lot of systems? Why pick you over one of those guys?
Well, you know, I don't knock any other guy. You know, one thing I would say is that the only difference is them guys is on bigger stages. You know, they all of them had great college careers. You know, and one thing I'll say about myself is that, you know, what you're getting from me is a guy that's hardworking. Yes, I'm talented. You know, and I'm a student of the game.
Okay.
You know, is that no matter what it is, I'm gonna put my all into it. And you know, if I'm given the opportunity, you know, I can really showcase whichever team that would like to sign me. You know, that what I can bring to the table, you know, is sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You know.
Before you say that, so when you're thinking about cooking, you know, people have their favorite recipes, whether it's pasta or, you know, grandma's sweet potato pie, and there's always that one ingredient that they'll never tell you is in there, because if they do, it won't make their dish as special. What is your one ingredient?
I call it the it factor.
Okay.
Heart. You know, you can you can judge numbers, you can judge arm talent, you can judge their speed, everything like that, you know, different type of measurables. But what you can't judge in a person is their heart and their determination, you know, and what they're willing to give, you know, to make the team succeed, make the team go, you know. And one thing I've always told my teammates, you guys, you know, that really get everybody going, is that, you know, you guys don't ever have to worry about if I'm not all in, because I'm willing to go out here and put it all on the line. I'm willing to go out here and die for this. You know, you know, it's just the type of passion, energy that I bring, you know, and whichever organization takes a chance, you know, that's what they're gonna get.
Yeah.
So,
speaking of your teammates, we have some of your jerseys up here showcased. Which one of these means the most to you, and why?
First Coast.
First Coast. Why?
Yeah. You know, it's just so much behind that.
Yeah.
Did some amazing things in that. You know, in high school, it's nothing like high school. You know, pretty much everybody can say that.
Yeah.
You know, high school football, man, is one of the most funnest time in anybody's lives, man, if you get a chance to play it. And, you know, just to go through that, and when I look at it, it just reminds me of all. It just reminds me, like, who I am. You know, and never forgetting that, you know, and understanding that, you know, whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Because coming to high school, nobody thought I was going to do what I did.
Yeah.
Besides myself.
Yeah.
You know, and it just confirms that for me.
Yeah. Why the number 14? What's special about that number?
Okay. Originally I wanted number 10.
Okay.
I was a freshman on the team. We had a senior that had number 10.
Okay.
Coach Lee didn't want to give it to me. You didn't want to give it to me. So I asked the senior, I said, Adrian, yo, can I have number 10? He said, yeah, you can have it. At the time, I was the starter. I'm like, okay, now I should be able to call my shots around here.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, can I get it? He said, yeah. So Coach Lee was like, you sure you want to give your jerseys to a freshman? And so I'm like, oh, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
darn, Coach Lee.
yeah, I can tell him now.
He's hard nosed.
Yeah, you know, and so the options was 12, 16, 14, 9. I said, give me 14.
Yeah.
I made a bet with my father that I was gonna change to number 10 after the season. But he says, man, he said, you know what? A lot of QBs had number 10. He was like, why you want number 10? Why you just make your own number? And I was like, I had to think for a minute.
Yeah.
And he said, I tell you this, if you can lead your team to the state championship, then you have to keep 14 and just make it your own.
Yeah.
And when I did it, you know, it just came a part of me, who I am.
Yeah. You
know, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it's just another number, but I'm proud of it.
Yeah, awesome. So now, as we're closing out, NFL players, they don't have favorite teams. But, I mean, before you become an NFL athlete, you were an NFL fan. So, favorite team would be?
I would probably say I knew at a young age that I was going to potentially end up in NFL.
Yeah.
So I never had a favorite team.
Ah!
So it was...
Okay, so no favorite team, but your favorite players, you said Russell, you said Aaron. Favorite defensive player?
Ooh, favorite defensive player. In the NFL?
Yeah.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald.
All right. So you have the potential to baby face him one day. What do you think it's going to be like when you take your first snap in the league and you look across the line and Aaron Donald is ready to knock your head off?
You know, I guess, you know, for me, it's going to be a feeling like, okay, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know, but then again, it's going to be a phase where it's like, let's do this.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to show me why you Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to show you why I'm DeAndre Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just my mindset.
I like that. We can close up right there. He said, I'm going to show you why I'm DeAndre Johnson. Listen, do a favor for me. Our sponsor, who you know well because you used to pass balls to his son, Brandon Brooks, Alvin Brooks. It's his birthday. Will you sing happy birthday with him?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Alvin Brooks.
OB.
Happy birthday to you. Yes,
He's
thank you so
now.
much. Listen, we wish you the best.
Thank you.
I know you have already promised that once you get in the league and everything gets settled down and you've kind of found your new home, you're going to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And hang out with us again and tell us about the experience. I'm excited for you. Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, it's a dream.
Yeah.
You know, and to be able to have the chance to fulfill that is a big sense of pride and accomplishment when it comes to that. But I'm more excited than nervous.
Yeah. You have any big plans for next week?
No, just continue on the script of working out, eating right, staying ready for the opportunity.
Yeah. Awesome. We're excited for you. So, on behalf of our sponsor, My Seasoned Chicken and Ribs, he wants you to come on over and get a nice meal on him from them. So,
I'm on the way.
You're gonna have to. You might have to call beforehand because he's been selling out literally every day this week. He's been selling out. So, but Alvin Brooks, save a plate for DeAndre. I'm sure he'll save a plate for you.
Man, you better save me a plate, man.
Listen, you said you're following a strict diet though. What can you eat there? You can't eat no ribs.
Well, you know, I don't eat pork.
Okay.
But
the chicken.
Yeah, you know, I got a cheat day.
Okay. He actually has a Beyond Meat burger. I don't know if you've had it, but that's that plant-based burger. I might have to call up your trainer Cecil, and ask what you can actually eat. But enjoy that free meal on Getting the Game with our sponsors. How do people follow you on social media? Let's add to those followers.
Guys, on Instagram is Dre Montana, DRE Montana, all one word. On Twitter, Dre Dadon 14, DRE DADON 14, and Facebook, DeAndre Johnson.
Awesome. So you guys definitely want to follow him. Let's blow up his Instagram account. Guys, thank you for joining us. Any final words? Do you have any final words? Anything you'd like to say? Anyone you'd like to thank, shout out? Here's your chance.
Oh yeah, I want to shout out to everybody, you know, who always supported me through this. Shout out to my family. I love you all. Shout out to my cousin and his brand, Oe brand. You know, I'm proud of you, cuz. And shout out, you know, to everybody who's doubted me, or whoever who's been with me since it all. You know,
need those haters.
Oh yeah, we need them. You know, but thank you all.
Yeah, and shout out to your little brother who's at Ohio State.
Oh yeah, shout out to my brother Tariq, man, Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, we gotta get the two of y'all on the set here together.
Oh yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Sounds like trouble, but I love it. I'm up for the challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, you guys, thank you for joining us. As always, we appreciate your time. Thank you to my producer, Stefan Petty, Mr. Allen, the best momager in this country, Melinda Henry, my stylist, Barbara J. Thank you to our newest sponsor, Alvin Brooks, with My Seasoned Chicken and Ribs. You guys, don't forget, this was the starter to our pre-draft ramped up. Next Tuesday, join us here live at 6:30. We're going to be going over just a pre-draft special. What we think, in our opinion, is the best way for the Jacksonville Jaguars to place a stamp in this year's draft. Maybe picking a hometown favorite right over here. Maybe they might do that and keep DeAndre here in Jacksonville so we can fill up these stands, man.
Maybe.
Yes. Join us next Tuesday, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Don't forget, you can follow us on YouTube at Get in the Game with Satara J. Also follow me on Instagram at Bunch of Legs, LEGZZ. Same handle on Twitter. You guys can catch me on Facebook at Satara Bunch. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday afternoon. See you guys next week.